Greetings from my 2024 Mercedes-Benz E350 4matic. This is the W214 all-new model. Hopefully we don't have too bad of lighting. This is the time of day where the sun is just coming right in at all the wrong angles. But this is day number 2 with this car. I've got the sunroof open. Just wanted to give some impressions now that it's had a chance to sink in a little bit. Usually the initial drive when I first buy a car just kind of goes like a blur, even though it was like 3.5 hours to get it home from the dealership. I went that far because my local dealer couldn't touch the deal that I got on this car. So I was told they are not discounting these. I just happened to catch the salesperson at the right time. It was the last day of the month, and it was the one car he needed for his bonus. So I got 5% off, which I know the market is cooling off a lot, and there are discounts on cars, but with this being an all-new model, I thought that was a really good discount. My local dealer was only willing to do the fleet discount. I'm in the Mercedes-Benz club, and it's like $500, I think. Otherwise, MSRP. And I was also told that the dealer I bought this from is not discounting any other E-classes. So that's what I paid. I got a very low option car, so relatively speaking, it was cheap. Let's do a quick 0 to 60 here, if that'll reset. I don't think it's resetting. We'll try it. Okay, that time I got 5.85. The car is thoroughly warmed up now, and that was slightly downhill. But really good. I'm glad I got it into the 5s. Mercedes-Benz advertises 6.1. I think when I did my other 0 to 60 run, it might have just been that the boost wasn't quite all the way there, because the engine wasn't fully warmed up or the oil temp wasn't fully warmed up, but it certainly is now. Let's see, make sure nobody's coming. But yeah, and it did feel like it pulled a little harder there. I like the horsepower and torque gauges in the display there. That's pretty cool. Let's see if I can get the cruise set.
You need online voice control for this service. Please check your Mercedes Me settings.
So let's see here, this button.
In order to use this function,
so it's listening to me and it's talking on top of me. I haven't yet figured out how to turn that off. Again, apologies for the noise from the sunroof. So the sunroof is okay. I'm actually going to slow down and close that. It around 40 miles an hour. It does have a little bit of buffeting, but not constantly. It's just like, I guess it depends on if it's windy out. So the sunroof is usable, unlike some other cars that I drove. Probably the best one is probably in my BMW. It's a G35 Series 540D. Hang on, I gotta do something else here. Let's turn this back down, turning the temperature back down.
Reducing the temperature to 67 degrees for you now.
So anyway, it's interesting that it told me that it did that. So now I want to talk a little bit about the drive and the quality. I've not owned one of the new body S classes, the W214, but I have test driven a couple of them. And I'm going to say this car is really actually starting to approach that. The drive is maybe one tick noisier at highway speeds. This one does not have air suspension, but the suspension is damped very well. The steering, it's very good. Maybe slightly on the light side, I think, but it does firm up a little bit just driving out once you get up to speed and whatever. Now I'm in the comfort mode. I haven't really played with it in sport mode yet to see if it stiffens up the steering any. I don't know how to easily do that here, and I don't want to hunt and peck while I'm trying to film and drive, so I'll have to do another video later about that. Seats are very comfortable. There's a lot of adjustments. Let's see, I'm going to try to do the windshield wipers here once I get around this turn. Get clear of all oncoming cars. So traditional, it's got 3 sprayers. I picked up a bunch of bugs on my initial trip coming back from the dealer. Oh, I love the smell of the factory Mercedes-Benz washer fluid. I don't know what they put in it. It's a little different than the blue stuff you buy. But yeah, anyway, the drive is very nice. I mean, it is definitely befitting of an E-Class, and it is definitely leaning toward the luxury side. Like when I compare it to my G30 5 Series, that's a little more sporty. This is a little more cushy, but at the same time it still handles really well. Again, super comfortable. The steering, even with it being a little light, is very precise. The 9-speed transmission so far has been pretty good, pretty smooth. I had the 9-speed transmission in my my G-Wagon. I think it's a different version of it, but it seems like at least my experience as of late, Mercedes-Benz has been getting their transmissions right. I know the 7-speed transmission, when it first came out, the 7G-tronic, it had a lot of problems, but the 7G-tronic in my GLK has been completely reliable. And I expect, just based on my initial feel, that
turn left onto the highway.
I don't know where it's trying to get me to go.
What is your destination?
It's like trying to take me somewhere. I guess it...
Excuse me, could you say that again? I didn't quite catch what you said.
It has decided that it's taking me somewhere, and I don't know where. Apparently something I said along the way got it to put in a destination somewhere. I have no idea where, so that's kind of funny. I might have to listen back through this video and see if I can figure out what it decided for me there. But anyway, yeah, like, see here on the highway, you know, cruising along, it's very quiet. It is, it's almost bordering on serene. Again, not quite to the level of an S-Class, but very close. I've heard some other people that have been reviewing this car say it's like a mini S-Class. And, yeah, I mean, I'd say that's pretty close. It's a very substantial car. In terms of size, it's like only 8 inches shorter than the 2004 S-Class that I had. I don't know how much it weighs, but it definitely feels very substantial. And it's just it's what you would expect and what you would want from a Mercedes. So yes, I can say it definitely drives like a Mercedes. Now, I haven't tried out the stereo a whole lot, but I did listen to a couple songs on my way back, and I will have to say the bass stereo system is among the best I've ever heard. It's got very clear sound. The bass is very good. I don't know anything about what kind of speakers it comes with or how many watts it comes with. It's the Burmester sound that comes standard in the E-Class. They did a great job with it. Yeah, super happy with that. The overall layout, I was not a big fan of the big pad that was stuck on in the S-Class. The way they did it in this car, it's still huge, but the way they integrated it with the center, and then they still give you your traditional cup holder and all that, and your wood trim right down there, that is just, I think, so much better than what they've done with some of the other models. So the integration and design of the interior is really good. The engineers really did a fantastic job with this car. The headrest in the seat has that squishiness that a lot of Mercedes-Benz models have. So that makes it nice and comfortable. And then I made a video about the ambient lighting. The ambient lighting is spectacular. It is, it's the base ambient lighting is actually pretty equivalent to, like in the S-Class, the upgraded ambient lighting, because it has the what do they call it? Animated ambient lighting that comes standards. So I did a video about that if you want to check that out. Most notably, that wood trim there, those little Mercedes stars are backlit with the ambient lighting, and they change colors. Just spectacular, you know. And then little details like just the materials and little design elements are just really nice in this car. The only issue I've found is this wood trim is loose, so it rattles sometimes, but that's not a big deal. The dealer can probably replace that. When I buy a new car like this, I always expect there to be some issues, so I'll be driving this and collecting the issues and take it to the dealer to have everything remedied. But you know, my initial impression so far is I actually don't really expect this to be very problematic. My G-Wagon had a few issues. My Range Rover had a few issues, some worse than others. But this one here, another thing I really like about this car is this is built in, I don't know how to say it, Sindelfingen, we'll just say that, in Germany. So it's basically built where a lot of the classic Mercedes-Benzes have been built. So it's got, to me, that history to it. And it definitely feels like a German car. And I'm very happy with it. Now, especially in today's market, I'm sure it's going to take a big depreciation hit pretty early on. I'm okay with that. Those of you who have seen some of my other videos know I'm in and out of cars all the time. It is a mystery at this point how long I'm going to keep this car, but it's got potential to stick around for a while. I got some extra storage space to put some of my cars. I'm actually going to probably put my GR Corolla away for a while. I actually want to kind of tuck that away with low miles for the collectability nature of it, and maybe make somebody really happy at some point in the future with that, finding a very low mile original owner GR Corolla. So and then I can still drive it once in a while. And yeah, that's annoying that that thing is still talking above me, but that's okay. I'll get all those little tech gremlins sorted out at some point. But overall, yeah, if you're looking at one of these, I wouldn't hesitate to recommend one of these at all. Very pleasant car, and that's what I was after. I mean, I have all this sport and rawness that I could possibly want in my GR Corolla. This, I definitely wanted something that was more luxurious and serene, and this delivers that 100%. So anyway, I think that's it for now. That's just my initial update video on my impressions. Real quick, I'm going to change the display here. I'm up to 312 miles. It's got some pretty cool displays. Let me switch this over to the service one, which is also pretty cool. It shows you some old school gauges and stuff like that. I like that one. Well, while we're at it, let's let me drop the camera because there's a cop there, and I don't want him to see me filming. Fortunately, I'm going basically the speed limit here, just a little bit over, so he's probably not interested in me. Yeah, he's just sitting there. It's always a sucky feeling when there's a cop sitting on the road. The assistance one, I think, is just for like if you have adaptive cruise, which this one doesn't have. And then finally the navigation one, that's very similar to what I had in the Range Rover. So you can actually have two maps. It's interesting, the one in the center has like the satellite view, but this one here does not. And again, I still have no idea where it's trying to take me, so that's kind of funny. The resolution on the monitors also is really good. The car, I'm saying like 5 things at once. The resolution on the monitors is very good. It is what you would expect in a luxury car like this. One thing I'm actually very impressed with is the responsiveness of the system. I have done a bunch of different things with the menus and whatnot, and it's just very immediately responsive, very quick, no lag. Set driver temperature to 77.
Okay, I'll set the temperature on the driver's side to 77 degrees.
So stuff like that is very good. It's very quick. Map. Okay, so that time it got confused. Navigation.
In 1 mile, exit to the right and then immediately turn left.
I'm trying to get it to display the map for me. Map. There it goes. Yeah, so I mean, it's generally very good. I mean, I guess it's a little hit or miss here and there. I'll check this out. Where am I?
In half a mile, please take the exit 5 on the right towards US 40 Elm Grove.
Oh, there's the
turn left. Please follow the
Augmented Reality navigation there. It's showing the little blue thing and where I'm supposed to go with an active camera. Yeah, I forgot it does that. So we'll show that. It actually, once I get up there, I think it like shows the little blue arrow. Let me go ahead and get over here. I think the truck in back of me is pissed that I'm getting off the highway, or maybe happy, who knows. But yeah, it's almost like a video game, the way that it does these things with that camera.
In 700 feet, turn left towards US 40 West Elm Grove.
So you can see the little blue thing, totally like a video game, but I'm not gonna go
Now
left.
turn left.
I'm gonna go right. Let's push it a little bit.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right onto Clay Avenue and then immediately turn right.
Cancel route guidance.
Understood. I am canceling route guidance.
Okay, so this truck is going really slow. Okay, here we go. Where am I?
To use this service, your current location is National Road, Wheeling, West Virginia.
What's the temperature outside?
Outside the vehicle, it's currently 47 degrees.
So those are some examples of some of the cool things that it understands. I'm pretty impressed with that. I'm sure there's a ton of other things that I could have it do for me that I haven't figured out yet. I'm going to play with it that much more. So yeah, I ended up running a bit over, but you know, the more this is like an onion, the more layers you peel, the more layers there are. And that's another thing I really like about this car, is not only the tech is so well integrated, but there's so much of it. I mean, this is the latest and greatest from Mercedes. Now, I do want to say that downshift into first there was a little jerky. But I have experienced things like that in other Mercedes-Benz transmissions, so I wouldn't consider that out of the norm. I am going to go ahead and reopen the sunroof, or at least attempt to. You basically have to just drag your finger back on, I don't know if I got that in the camera, and it opens the sunroof. So it's not like a hard button or whatever. You just basically swipe your finger, and the first one opens the cover, and then the second one opens the actual sunroof. And I'm right now at about the speed where sometimes if it's windy out, it can be a little buffety, but it's nothing like when I drove the Dodge Hornet and opened the sunroof. I literally had to close it right away because it was so bad. So that's just one other thing to note about the sunroof. Oh yeah, and I was commenting a little bit on the interior trim earlier, and I did want to point out one thing that's really cool is this knurled, is that what they call it, textured, I'm guessing that's metal surrounding that, so that's really nice. That gives it a really extra high-end feel. You know, I've seen stuff like that in Bentleys, and then these metal speaker grills, that's also lovely. So you have one there and one there, so who knows how many speakers there are. I don't know if there are any up there. Oh, there's some ambient light up there too. I didn't even notice that before. Okay, so those are my initial impressions and thoughts, and there are a lot of them, and I'm sure I will have even more as I own this car more, and I will be doing lots of content on this car, and hopefully you enjoy it. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching and have a great day.